You wanted loving on a new foundation. You got me feeling like it's time I let you in. You wanted loving on a new foundation. You got me feeling like it's time I let you in. You needed loving on a new foundation. You got me feeling like it's time I let you in.
Hello everyone, this is Angela and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so that you'll know whenever I upload any new content. This is going to be a quick video, y'all. Much like most American women, I am very busy and I am towards the end of my classes that I'm taking right now, so I have to take time to concentrate on, that. Plus, I'm running a business. However, listen, I appreciate all of you that watch my videos and comment. I appreciate all my subscribers, every single last one of you. I love you. I'm giving you a virtual hug. Okay, thank you. Listen, I still be in the loop, though, on what's happening in these streets. Okay. And I've been following up on the Bumble Fumble. And let me tell you how proud I am to see that women are showing more and more how they understand their individual value, especially in a monetary sense. I think it is important to know how much you're worth beyond intrinsic values and little philosophies, because this is the core of why girls and women are sex trafficked. And even for those of us who fortunately have not been sex or labor trafficked, we see through this Bumble Fumble how the world views us women as well as our children as a bunch of livestock. They see our womb and they see how much money they can make over a long period of time abusing us. Listen, I was the first to compile the data and to point out in this particular niche and in this particular space that we are giving up $200,000 worth of uncompensated labor each year, and how it supplements the U.S. economy and the global economy overall. I am so happy to hear that this discussion is spreading like wildfire. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to hear women discuss their uncompensated labor contributions and understand exactly what it is that you're doing and why you are so important. You see, think about it. The average American woman, now let me let you know what the average American woman is. Even the most illiterate woman, let's say she has at the most a 5th grade education, and I don't say that disrespectfully, okay? Things happen, y'all. But the people that tend to be looked down upon, she's illiterate, she has multiple baby daddies, okay, children everywhere, she's living on Section 8, food stamps, poverty, you name it. Her labor within her household, caring for her children, okay, and meeting all the demands outside of her household, the labor she has to put forth but is not getting paid to do, on average, is about $200,000 per year. There is a valuation of $200,000 per year on that labor. And there's no compensation for it. Listen, the more educated a woman is, the more her uncompensated labor is worth. And educated women tend to do more than women who are not. So that goes for you with the degrees and the letters as well. Matter of fact, you're working longer and your uncompensated labor is more specialized. You see, For those of you who are healthcare professionals, especially, you can't tell me that your family members, even your neighbors or people like that, aren't calling you up as if, you're some nurse hotline and asking you about symptoms that they're feeling, and you're helping them to stay healthy. Okay? And listen, what I'm not trying to do is discourage women from being nice. What I have always been trying to do is encourage women to understand what your value is and the reason why we need soft infrastructure to handle these demands instead of using women's uncompensated labor and our free time to do it. Okay. So $200,000 a year on average of labor that is for free. Listen, y'all, that's $1 million every 5 years. So for every woman that you see, each decade, that's 5 years times 2, that's 10 years, right? Okay. Each decade, she's generating $2 million worth of uncompensated labor. Now add to it that for each child that you bring into the world as of right now, when they grow up and become able-bodied enough to work, then they will fetch an additional $230,000 per year in profits. Basically, this society fundamentally views us as nothing more than livestock. This is why we need to understand our quote, end quote. Okay, I'm putting this in quote. We need to understand our quote, livestock value. Because once you understand it and you know what you're worth, you're able to control it. Okay? We need to understand that so that we can control it ourselves. This quote unquote livestock value plays a large part into why men who hate their wives, they can't stand her, they beat on her, they cheat on her, they do everything but leave her. They abuse them. And when the women finally get fed up, when the wives want to leave, this explains why he wants to attack and often unalive her. You know why? Because instead of him controlling her value, she's taken back control herself. This plays a part into also the reason why some divorces get very heated over child custody, even though the dad in particular never spent time with the children or even acts like he hates having them around. He's abusing them, calling them names, telling them that they ain't gonna be nothing. Go down the list. But he's upset that when they don't want anything to do with him. Okay? The reason why is because he needs that child to be in some way, shape, form, or fashion guilt-tripped into being attached to him, so that way when he grows old, even though he's an old cantankerous bastard and he never meant any well towards that child, he can turn around and guilt-trip that child via social norms, via religion, into using their resources and sometimes even your resources by proxy in order to care for him in old age. This is also the reason why the teacher thought it was all right to have a bunch of girls take down his hair and paint his fingernails, because of how it has been so expected of girls and women to give up our labor in exchange for verbal validation, when instead we could have been using it to stabilize ourselves all along. This is part of why they become violent and start tearing up anything that you've accomplished. You tell a guy you're breaking up with him, don't tell him that in your house. In fact, don't let him know where you stay. Don't let him know where you stay. Because what he does is breaks everything, slashes your tires and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because of your value to him. And he want to make sure, because in his mind, he doesn't want the value that he's losing within you to go to somebody else and start boosting them, because that means that all the abusive things that he said and done to you has become invalid. So they need you to birth children, and you and your children all come together with your uncompensated labor, and eventually your children will begin to generate profit as well. It's because they need to keep you and your children brainwashed into believing that you are giving up your best efforts for the sake of God. And you do so by supplementing your own abuse with voluntary labor, but you think you're doing it on behalf of God or on behalf of the greater good. So, listen, the jig is up. The patriarchy is burning down, as patriarchies typically do, because it runs out of resources and causes irreversible declines in its population, irreversible damage to its resources. Now is the time for women to assert ourselves even more. The Bumble Fumble, oh, it warmed my heart, is a wonderful and great step in the right direction. But listen, long term, we need to have the Nordic model here within the US so that we can enjoy being healthier, wealthier, and more educated as a nation who lives longer. We need 100% availability to shelter our population, to ensure that everyone is food secure, that they have 100% access to health care, education, and so forth. Also, a universal basic income so that the nation can thrive. Because the more educated individuals are, the more income they can earn, the more they're paying in taxes. So this will be what patriarchy is lacking, is a self-regenerative, thriving cycle. See, what patriarchy does, they only regenerate for part of the population and allows them to thrive while everybody else lives in drudgery. So patriarchy is not the way to go, because eventually it's going to fizzle out, and that's where we're at. What we need is something that's self-regenerative, that can thrive in perpetuity. And this is how it is done. It will not come any other way. Bump all the philosophies that you hear out there. I deal with the numbers, and I always come with numbers to show you what it is that I'm talking about, because I respect you enough for the fact that you spent the time to listen to this video and listen to my sometimes cracking voice with a southern accent on top of it to hear out what I have to say. So I'm not coming to you with a bunch of philosophies that I pulled out of thin air. I come with facts based in numbers, because that's what you deserve. And listen, one ride around any downtown area in a city will show you the end result of patriarchy and its unbridled competition, winner takes all mentality. Or because, they like to do the red versus blue, all this division to keep you confused. Listen, you can go to any wooded areas in the rural parts of this nation as well. Oh yeah, I go everywhere, and I have seen it all. So there are homeless people everywhere. And more than homeless people, there are people who are doubled up, meaning that people have moved in with others as a survival tactic. We can do better as a nation. We have the land size, we have the population, we definitely have the resources. And we women, we have the power in our hands. We always have had the power within our hands. Now that you know what you bring to the table, so to speak, as far as your economic value, you are the economy, okay? And that you have even supplemented this economy with your uncompensated labor, you can shut down these cartoon character look-alike manosphere vloggers. And you also have the power to shut down the economy until we get our way. Our way is the direction of peace and abundance. We should not have to settle for anything less than what we envision. such as the Nordic model, as a starting point. As a starting point. Additionally, we women are not livestock, and our children are not our calves. Women, even when we are not mothers, we're aunties, we're older cousins, we're sisters. Listen, we're the hands that rock the cradle. Therefore, we rule the world. We can change the economy overnight, and we can change the society within one generation to outnumber our opponents. Not only to outnumber our opponents, but we can change the whole political scape. And this is not only within the U.S. We've already shown what we're capable of doing within the U.S. or nationally for any other nation, but we can change it globally as well. The time is now for us to assert ourselves even more. So, like I said, I was going to keep this brief because, y'all, I'm very busy. That's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time, and I am so proud of every last one of you. Keep going. Listen, you bring, even if you're unemployed, you bring $200,000 worth of uncompensated labor value into this economy. Now, whatever your income is, add that on top of it, plus you're paying taxes. So that's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, click on the notifications bell. Take care until next time.
Oh, 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 put your hands up. Oh, 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 tonight. Oh, 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 put your hands up. Oh,